Okay, let's see here. Let me actually check this audio since it obviously didn't work last time. I'm gonna put this on, go to the YouTube channel, and see if I can actually hear it. Okay, so over here. Sorry, let me get set up. I should have done this in advance, but I was on a call with somebody. Very cool guy. Is an insurance agent in Ohio. Super cool guy. All right, let's see. YouTube. All right, sorry, just a sec. All right, let me go here and actually see if I can hear myself talking. Let's see. We'll say sound. Okay. All right, I'm seeing myself perfectly. All right, perfect. I guess you can hear me. Okay, so let's talk about some things. So last week you couldn't hear me because I had screwed it up. Sorry. Alrighty. Other way. There we go. Okay, so you couldn't hear me. You couldn't hear me because I screwed it up, and for whatever reason, my microphone was not working. But okay, so we worked on making ads, and with the ads, we we got them launched. And right now, I think it'd be cool to actually show you the results of the ads. Let me go and set up this blur thing right here. Okay, so we'll go here, ads manager. Okay, so let me change it here to, no, wrong one. All right, okay, so here we go. So these are the different ads that I've got that we set up the other day. So okay, so here we go. So the first one we did is we set up this mechanism testing. Okay, so we were basically trying to see which perspective of the angle I could take with the product would people actually respond to. We've got reliability. So some of those ads were, let's see. Actually, I guess I could just jump in here. Reliability. Here's an example of one of the ads right here. New 20-minute system that creates reliable lead flow. We had control, which would be something like this here. New system replaces agencies and books real customers this week. So the control would be you get to do it, not agencies. You don't have to rely on agencies. You're in control. Next would be simplicity. This is just one example of the simple ads. New simple framework, books appointments this week. Okay, and then reliability. New system replaces, that's the wrong one. Let's do this one right here. Okay, new 20-minute system cuts complexity, books appointments this week. So There you go. Okay, so this is sort of what happened. So as you could expect, it was a disaster. It's sort of unfortunately how it goes. But let's talk about what we learned. So since we started it, we spent $613 is what we spent on this. $300 cost per purchase. You'll notice that selling a $97 product, that's not good. That's not going to work. Not long term, at least. However, when we dive into this, we look at mechanism testing, you'll notice that all of the sales came from one campaign, right? Now, that one campaign got almost all the budget, so you could look at that and be like, $2 isn't enough to know if the reliability angle doesn't work. And you may be right. The only thing is that when you let Facebook pick all the winners and stuff like that, you really kind of just have to say, okay, I don't know the reason why it spent it that way, but I will move on and test a new angle. Sort of how it works. So let's go ahead and jump into, well, first of all, the thing that's great about this is that I can cut all of these things. Now, theoretically, I should not cut these. I should let Facebook cut them or just stop showing them, which is fine. You can do that. I think that this is sort of muddying the waters, and so I'm going to get rid of them simply so that I don't have to look at them anymore. And this actually is not a whole lot of data to go off of. I mean, 2 sales, that's not a ton. However, it's all I have to go off of. So I will be going off of that. Speed, let's go into speed. So here's what is really interesting. And I actually already took a look at these earlier. You'll notice that there was one angle that actually got both of those sales. Speed. Control. I'm in speed. I don't know if you remember, but I actually had this control ad that I had mislabeled, and so it's in there, but it's not really supposed to be there. But both of the sales came from this one thing. Now, if you look at speed 5 and speed 6, we can look at these ads. This is speed 5. New 20-minute system books customers in days, not months. Number 2, new 20-minute formula for leads on demand. Okay? And so those are the 2 winners. If you look at the budget, however, you remember how I said that I'd spent like $600 and something? If you look at the budget, those 2 right there, Speed 5 had a cost per purchase of $94.83. And so that particular sale was profitable. The Speed 6 had a cost per sale of $34, which is profitable. For whatever reason, Facebook was continuing to show Speed 3 and Speed 4 and spend almost all the budget, even though it wasn't generating results. Now, they probably have some reason for that. However, if you look at this, this is $383. Out of 600 and something sales, 383 of it was Facebook spending it on ones that wasn't getting anything. Now, again, one purchase for each of these things isn't a whole lot to go off of, arguably. I could turn these other ones off, and then maybe these cost per purchases triple. I mean, it's entirely possible. But it's what I have to go off of so far. So I'm going to turn these other high spenders off and keep working with these. It's sort of what I have available. That's the information that I have available to make decisions on. And that really is all you can go off of, is the data you have available. So this is what we are going to do. So here is, let's go back to my spreadsheet. Let's see, sheets, hook history. Is this it? No, that's not it. Here. Okay, here we go. So these are the winners. not months. Let's look at this. So say not months. New 20-minute system. That's a winner. I'm going to say good. And what is the other one? Not month. Okay. This week. Let's go back here and say this week. Book appointments this week. Book appointments this week. There is the other winner. All right, so let's get rid of this. You could say that these right here, without the exception of those two, are all losers. All right. So now here's what we've learned. Okay, we've learned a few very important things. So first of all, what we've learned is the angle that worked the best so far is speed. So even though our program liberates you from agencies, which is amazing because I hate agencies, it is simple and it can generate results reliably. Even though it does all those things, the one that people care most about, at least from this test, is speed. Okay. Now there's a couple of things that we can do now at this point. We could go and we could test more angles. Certainly something we can do. We could just let these other ones ride, which is not necessarily a bad idea. Or we can go and we can start making variations of these things right here. So there's a couple of things I want to sort of point out. Okay. The first is these are all image ads, right? And they're quite bad image ads, if I say so myself. And the reason why I did it like this is because I'm just trying to test the angle and see if we can, maybe sneak a couple hooks out of this test. And so you'll remember that I wanted to test 4 different angles. Let me put my glasses back on so my eyes don't hurt. Wanted to test 4 different angles, and we wanted to have about 6 ads or 6 hooks per angle so that we can make sure that we don't, falsely attribute one angle as good or not good. Because, like, for example, this one right here, if I was only going to do one, and the first one I came up with was 20-minute formula for leads on demand, I would have looked at this whole thing and said, speed stinks. It sucks. It doesn't work. And the reason why is because I just happened to pick the one that was no good. However, when you test multiple ones, it becomes a lot easier for you to look at a test and with confidence say, this one was a loser or this one is a winner. Because if you have enough in there, the likelihood of you, sort of accidentally picking one that's no good is less. So that's why we do that. And Facebook has said that the best number, I think you can have I don't even know what the current number is, 50 or something ads within an ad set. But if you talk to them on the phone, oftentimes they will say 6. So that's why we put 6 in there, so that we can still get, as many, we can get multiple ones so that we can not make that mistake of just running with ones, but you're also not putting in so many in there that each ad only gets a few impressions and it's unlikely to actually get a sale. Okay, so because of this whole thing, we got 2 sales. Both of them were from Speed. And inside of Speed, for whatever reason, the ones that got the sales were, on the lower end of the cost per acquisition, and they spent most of the money on ones that were not getting sales. Like, let's go ahead and actually look at this and see why in the world would they be doing that. Let's say these two right here. Oh wait, no, not like that. These two are the expensive ones. Why would they be doing that? It obviously got most of the clicks because we spent the most money on it. The cost per click was quite high. As a matter of fact, the ones that ended up winning, their cost per click was still quite high. $5, $6.77. Hopefully we can bring that down considerably. But it was getting a higher, high-ish click-through rate all, so CTR all. The one that really matters the most is this cost per link click, because that's when they click the learn more to go to your website, versus CTR all is they click anywhere on the ad. Now, arguably, clicking anywhere on the ad means that they're engaging with your ad. They're doing the learn more button, see more button to expand and read the text. They click on the image, or they clicked on your name in the profile, go to check you out. So I mean, it's not like there's no value in that, but it's what it is. I am happy. Let's see, which were the ones that were the winners? 6. I'm happy about 6. 6 was the lowest, and its cost per click was the second lowest, behind Control 1, which was mislabeled, but the cost per link click was 3.87. So I'm looking at this, and CTR all is higher, the cost per click is lower, the CPM is not the most helpful thing to look at because it usually just makes me feel bad. The conversion rate on the page was higher for the ones that worked, obviously. I can't figure out why they chose those ones. I'm sure they had their reasons, but I think I'm going to manually intervene, which is, you got to do that eventually. Sometimes you look at it and just like, okay, I can't do this any longer. Let's see. Okay, let me put my notifications on silent here. So this is sort of how I made that decision. Okay, so we're going to go with speed. So we want to stick with speed. We have 2 hooks that actually did perform. So let's go back to our ChatJeep. And let's go in here. Let's do this export as CSV. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and put this into ChatGPT and see if it can do a little calculation for us. Okay, so let's see what we're going to say. We're going to say speed 3 and speed 4. Hi there, speed 3 and speed 4 obviously got most of the budget, but no sales. Any idea why Facebook might have optimized for those? They had higher cost per clicks, CPMs, lower CTRs, which is click-through rate, etc. Okay, pay most of the budget. So I spent $250 a day. So I mean, it's not exactly like I didn't have money on it, right? So like if I was spending like $10 a day, you might look at it and be like, why wasn't it getting any clicks? But I was spending $250 a day, so it definitely wasn't for lack of spend. All right. Early click engagements. Facebook algorithm doesn't optimize directly for cheap clicks. It optimizes for predicted conversion likelihood based on early signals. If speed 3 and 4 got a few early clicks or engagement fast than others, the algorithm might have interpreted them as winners. Learning phase bias. Ads with slightly more initial traction often get favored in the learning phase, even if the quality is poor later. Facebook will scale them until it gets enough data to decide otherwise. If other ads had fewer initial clicks, they were effectively starved of impressions. Yes. Auction, higher CPMs. These ads were entering more competitive auctions, perhaps targeting different sections of your audience pool. Since no conversions were tracked on these ads, the algorithm likely defaulted to engagement proxies. Yes. Let's see, takeaways. They weren't actually better. They were just the first to get budget out traction. Without conversions to anchor optimization, Facebook doubled down on them. Okay, yeah. To prevent this, use CBO, which I did. Oh, and I can confirm that this is the correct number of sales for that. So it wasn't a tracking problem. All right, let's see. We see for you, which were the winners. If you ignore the fact that some got sales based on the other metrics. All right. Cheapest clicks, highest click-through rate, speed 5. Which ones did we decide? We're going to go with speed 5 and speed 6. Okay. So yeah, so control 1 was miscategorized and it didn't get sales. So speed 5 and speed 6. 2 was the weakest of them all, although it didn't get a whole lot of budget, but based on engagement metrics, that was the worst one. Okay. All right, so let's see. So here were the winning hooks, all in the speed angle. Speed 5 and 6. Let's look at this. Canva. This is my wife's account. Speed 5 and 6. I don't want that. As a matter of fact, why don't we do this? We'll change this to PNG. We will say all. I guess I can't paste in 25, can I? Let's do it like this. We'll do it as a PDF. Standard. Alright, so we'll see speed 5. The ones I picked as winners were speed 5 and speed 6. Here is their creative text, and the PDF has all of the images, the ads, so that you can see what they were competing with. Speed 5, speed 6. Copy. What insights and recommendations can you give me for my next test? I have some ideas, but let's see if I can get any insights. Alright, winning hooks and the full mechanism test. Competing ads, let's break this down. Alright, clarity and specific. Book customers in days, not months. Formulas for leads on demand. Use time compression. Outcomes versus activities. That's interesting, okay. Against delay, speed 5, obviously, because it's speed. Agency bashing. I hate agencies. It's hard not to. All right, double down on time. So keep playing with time compression frames, but vary them weeks, not quarters. Did mine say quarters? No, I didn't say quarters. Proof style modifiers. Add words like proven, repeatable, guaranteed flow. Example, 20-minute system books customers in days. Boldness versus believability. Hooks to explore. Alright, so let's see. My next batch of ads will all be about speed. Here is the research doc again with information. Reply with ready. All right. All right. Downloads. There we go. Wrong one. So there's a couple things now that we have now that we know sort of what a winning angle is. There's lots of different things we can do. One is we could do more of the black and white tests, trying to figure out exact hooks. But we do have a couple hooks that did produce results. It wasn't fantastic, but it was something. So we do have something to go off of, thank goodness. We could actually take those winning hooks and put them into like just improve the image. We could make videos. We could do different styles like testimonials, results, that kind of thing. So let's look at what we got to work with here. I have a couple of testimonials that are really impressive here. Let's see. All right, let's see. Why isn't Drive running? Let's move this over here. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, so here's, let's just make a list of some stuff so I don't get distracted. Okay, so I've got testimonials. I've got results. I've got just straight out hooks. Image redesigns. I could actually record videos. Okay. So let's just see what we can come up with here. So what's the name of that Otter AI? If I remember correctly, I think I signed up for this a little bit ago. Let me get logged in here. Continue. All right. Import. All right, let's do this. I will download here. Yeah, I will download there. So here's sort of what I'm going to do is I am going to download, so let's see, I'm going to download the actual video files from a testimonial that a couple of testimonials that I've done, so that I can kind of get stuff that I can use for these. So let's say browse. Let's see, which were the ones? So video. What is this here?
Training.
You did.
If
I don't
you add it up over the years, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why you would admit to that otherwise.
All right, let's do this. I'll start with that one, and then start with this one. All right, so there's that one. Let me find the next one. Just hang tight. another folder. All right. Jerry 1. Jerry 1 dash audio only. I think I might have done that twice. Goofball. There's that. Bear with me if you don't mind. What I'm doing is I'm going back to get some old stuff. See, I thought I had a paid account here. Do I not have a paid account? Let's see, how much is it? I thought I had a paid account. I must not. Let's see. Well, that might not be a good one. Let's do this. We'll do Descript because I think I actually might already have some of this stuff in there. Bring this over here. Just bear with me one moment. Let's see. Testimonials. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do instead. I will do this. Project. Let me download what I need first. Alright. Yeah, I got that one. That's good. Testimonial Monty. so we'll pull these in here. Just going to start downloading those. Okay, so let's start getting some stuff put together. Testimonial stuff. So we got those. All right, let's see. So what do we have here? Let's go in here. All right, bounce passes. This was a really cool campaign that I did here. Let's see when this. Let's see. When did I start with this? Let's see. December. All right, so we got leads in December. Let's try this here. All right, let's see here. All right, first lead. 20th. Oh, all right. Well, that's that then. Okay, so looks like we got our first lead on the 20th. Girls. Okay, so we launched the ads. I'm pretty sure we launched it on the first day we got a lead. What happened the next day? If I remember correctly, what I think happened was we launched the ads, he got a lead. Facebook thought it was spam or a scam, and so they turned it off, and it took a day or so to get him back on there. So I think we got our first lead within 24 hours, and within our first week, let's say the 20th or the 26th, we got 5, 7, and then what about the next week? Friday to this Thursday. We got the same numbers. Friday to Thursday. Oh wait, Friday to this. 10. So we're getting more leads over time. 8. 3. Oh, here we go. So this is a really interesting thing here if you want to just see something interesting. So you notice the difference between ads that work. Like I remember when we launched this thing, I was kind of disappointed with the results because we were just getting a few a day, like 1. I wasn't super crazy with the results. 2, 10, 2, 16. Didn't get any that day, but let's say 17. This one right here, this Jump for Joy facility. This is a new ad that I launched. Let me show you what it looked like before. Right here. These are the ones right here. So what we were doing is we were giving away bounce passes, right? So a mom comes in with their new kid, and if they come in, we give them bounce passes. So it was pretty cool, really attractive for moms because they can go and they can sit with their friends and kind of relax while their kids go play on the bounce house. But for as cool as the idea was, it just wasn't really doing much of anything. And one of these days, I decided to test a new image. And rather than right here, it has this stock image of the kids going down the slide. I actually went online and I got an actual picture of the facility right here. So I changed it to where if a mom had been to the Jump for Joy place before, they would see this and they'd be like, boom, I know that place. And so let's see which day I launched this. So just for your reference, this was the original ad right here. It was just the girls going down the slide. 2 was an image of the actual facility. And you notice this is very ugly. And I'm certainly capable of making better looking ads, I promise. However, the ugly ads almost always convert better. And so you do what works. Okay, so on the 17th of January, got 1 lead. Let's see which day I launched the new ad. Same. Well, let's back it up here. So we got 4 that day on the 19th. 22. Let me show you when this happens. 2. There we go. 8. Right. So we launched we launched that ad on the morning of the 22nd. I always launch my ads at 4 a.m. So the day before, we got 2 leads on the old ad. The day we launched that ad, we got 8 in 1 day. Right? And then 23, 10. 24, 13. 25, 10. Right? 26, 5, it's the weekend. 27, 3, that's a downer. 28, 9, 6. So when it first launched, the numbers were awesome, right? We were getting about 6 leads a day. And if I remember correctly, I think what happened was we launched it and then the client dropped the budget. If I think that's what it was. I think he chopped it from 100 down to 50, which would make sense why the leads dropped. But yeah, and so, I mean, when was that? The 22nd? 21st, yeah, 21st was this one, 22nd was here. Okay, so we launched the ad, and within 24 hours we got 8 leads, right? And so why don't we take a picture of this? We better bring this over so we can see the. Alright, where is my screenshot thing? Snag it. Okay, here we go. There we go. It's about as small as I can make it. Yeah, and look at this for the reach impressions. The impressions was almost the same, but this one got 0 and this one got 8. So you can tell why I turned it off. All right, so let's come here. We will, excuse me, more. Let's see, blur. Let's do it like this. We'll drop that. All right, let's do this. Circle there. Say first 24 hours. Like this. Outline here. Do this arrow. Let's do this. All right. Let's see, anything else needs to be blurred out here? Okay, that's a cool one. As a matter of fact, we could even do it like this. Could we do it like this? How much do we need to show? People probably don't know what the ads manager even looks like. Dental. Let's see. We'll say the facility ad. There's that one. That would be an interesting thing to show the difference between when that first ad hit. Well, I mean, when the facility ad hit, because it went from a couple leads a day up to 8 to 10. Like that was that one that got 13 a day, and then the client chopped the budget. Can't remember why. There's that one. Let's see what else we've got. This is a good one. All right, let's take this. We did a webinar for this this person. This guy is super awesome. All right. So I think we started this. Let's say 25. I think we started this in April. All right, what was the week? No. No. All right, there we go. Let's start tracking here. Oh, all right, 22nd, 21st, 0. 22nd. What about the 23rd? 24th. I don't know. This is pretty impressive, I think. Okay, so we'll do this. Let's take that same screenshot. Maybe let's see. Let's customize these columns. Custom. No, let's see. Customize columns. All right, results, reach, frequency, cost per result. That's probably a good one. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Apply. Okay, so now I can go through and I can do it like this. Have it show relevant data. That way people can be like, you spent $1 million. And I'm like, yeah, of course I got a bunch of leads if I spent that much money. All right, let's go back here and do this again. As a matter of fact, why don't we just zip this up here? Maybe we don't care what the budget is. We just care about the amount spent. All right, so let's let's take this screenshot again. Oh, I don't want this. All right, let's do this. All right, so here we will do this. Oh, guess I need to, there you go. All right, let's say, do this arrow thing. The first 24 hours. Outline that. All right, there's that. Ooh, all right. Got that one. What else do we got? Let's see. Let's see. Sweet and juicy. All right, when did this start? I think it was here. Yes, 28 leads. 22, 1. All right. All right, so it started on the 21st. All right, let's do the same thing again. Let's say result, reach. Let's customize this. All right, so we got budget, nobody cares, results. Okay, so we got results, reach, impressions, cost per result, engagement ranking, nobody cares. All right, apply. This was for a square dancing event my mother-in-law was putting on. Super cool. All right, let's do this again. No, let's do this. Get rid of that. This one was really nice. It was just so simple. I just had one campaign. I did CBO, which is campaign budget optimization. I've started doing that recently instead of the ad set thing. And it's just amazing how much simpler it is. It's incredible. All right. Let's do this. There's no reason to keep typing it out anymore, I guess. All right, there's that. What do we do here? We just did it small. Prove that it was the first 24 hours. People will probably be thinking that. All right, there's that one. All right, let's take a look if there's any other ones in this account. Laundryland, how did these guys do? Let's see. Say, when did we start this? Was it in July, maybe? 91. June. Yeah, let's see. far back did we go? 4. Okay, let's see. Probably not April. If I had to guess. Alright, so we're in May. Let's go the latter half of the month. Let's see here. Oh, okay, let's try that. Nope. 4. Nothing. Nothing. 2. You know, that one's kind of a bummer that it didn't start with a bigger bang because, you know, you start looking into this and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, maybe not. Maybe they were pretty steady. All right. Let's say the 31st. Customize columns. Let's say results, reach frequently, budget, amount spent. What was I doing in the other ones? Here. Results, cost per result, amount spent. All right. All right, we got results, cost per result, amount spent. Apply. You know, anytime I run a campaign towards women, almost all of the leads come in between like 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. No sleep. I know that's true for my wife. I think she got 4 hours last night. Let's see. So, feel so bad. Anyways, okay, so let's do this. Get rid of this. Oh, come on. Let's do this one like this. Oh, oops. You know, these smaller ones like this, the 2, I mean, you might look at that and be like, you know, that's not super impressive or whatever. But, you know, I mean, like, yes, I get it. However, most of the time people, when they run ads, they're not getting any leads. You know, they just start running ads and they get nothing and they just burn their money. So even though 2's not impressive, you know, the fact that these guys went from 0 every day to launching ads and starting getting leads immediately, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously some of these bigger numbers, like, you know, with this right here, some of these bigger numbers are more impressive. And it's true, but you'll notice like right here, spent $36 that day, whereas right here we were spending, you know, $500 per day. So it's just all relative, I guess. Small businesses can make this work. When I do this kind of stuff and I notice that it doesn't work for people, oftentimes I notice that they're not calling the leads back or they're waiting like forever to call them back. And so if that's you, maybe think about that. All right, this is probably good. So let's say dental. Here we will say that's also dental. All right. Save. Law firm. Here. Square dance. Laundry. All right. So those are good. These are ones that we can do. Let's go check on Descript. All right. work on this. We'll do the other ones once that one's finished. All right, so we got some results. The results are cool because it's not only just results, but it's like results within 24 hours. Trash. This one. Let's see, do I have the other one? Give me just a second. Let me see if I can find the other one. Yeah, I have another client that would have been, this one right here would have been cool to see when his first 24 hours was. Can't seem to find access to it, unfortunately. Actually, I have an idea. Let me try this other one. Alright, let's see if I can log into this other one and find that account. Somebody hacked my account last summer. They spent $10,000 out of my account in a day. It was horrible. So that account got shut down. I had to start a new one. Major bummer. Here we go. This is that account. Okay, so let's say maximum. Okay, let's see, what are we doing here? So I think it was 2023, if I remember correctly. Did we get anything here? Yes. Let's say July. All right, let's say June. Yes. May. All right, so it was in June. Let's try the first week of June. All right, let's go back here. June 1, June 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 6. There we go. All right, so let's go back and customize this. Results, cost per result, budget, amount spent. There we go. All right, so let's go in here, close that. All right, so this is the first 24 hours here. Let's see, did I do that with these other ones? No, I didn't do that with these other ones. I need to go redo these. Of course, that's not in the picture. All right, 7 leads. First 24 hours. And again, the reason why we're doing it like this is because it was the speed angle that worked. So it would be really cool to like show the ones like 1,000 leads, blah 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 blah. But I don't have that. I wish I still had access to that one for the mattress, because that would be cool to show you. Because I think we got like 30 leads the first day. Let's see. First 24 hours. Let's see. EVFT. All right. So how are we at here? So we got Jerry's testimonial, and let's do new composition. This will be Johnny's testimonial. I think he did it in 2 clips, I believe. This one right here, I think this still works, because it's 1,100 leads in 45 days. And so I guess the assumption that you could make is this is really fast. So maybe that's something I'll do. I wish I had fixed that there. So I could have showed amount spent, just like the other ones. As a matter of fact, why don't we try that? We go here, Snagit, Snagite, selection, X, do it like this. And let's move this over here. It's not 24 hours, but it still gives the impression of speed, I think. Because, you know, if you're like 1,100 leads over a year, you're like, that's awesome. But if you're like 45 days, that was fast. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Oh, that's the same one. All right, so let's see what we got. First 24 hours, 8 leads. First 24 hours, 7 leads. This one isn't super impressive, especially since we already have the other one. No. All right, okay, so let's look at this. First 24 hours. First 24 hours. 45 days. Not 24 hours, but it does imply speed. College, let's see, laundry, 24 hours. First 24 hours. Let's see, okay, so we got laundry, 2. First 24 hours. First 24 hours. Okay, let's do this. We will open this in Snagit. Let's see, where is Snagit? Okay. Close Snagit. Favorites. Save. All right. All right, so we've got that. Here we've got Johnny's testimonial. All right. Okay, let me see if I can find that other one. Noisemaker, testimonials. Gotta be in here. Monty French. Let's try this other thing. Give me just 1 second. Just a sec. No. I'll have to do that other one later. Okay, I got enough to go on for this current moment. All right. Copy this. Let's go back to the old ChatGPT. Okay, here is the text of Jerry's testimonial. Please go through it and give me exact quotes that would be relevant to our new speed campaign. If any, I guess I should say. I don't necessarily know how I'm even going to use all this stuff, but I'm just going to create sort of a folder with stuff that I can draw from. Let me ask it again. Are those exact quotes? I don't want summarized or anything like that. All right, so this is good. So this is what's kind of cool with this script. I'm not sure how familiar you are with this. If we go back to Descript, say, oh, sorry, Command F find. All right. So let's create a new one here. Say Jerry. Let's see, just say testimonial clips. Okay.
So the first campaign we ran,
Hold on. Copy testimonial clips. Paste. Okay. What's next? Quick outpouring of people. Let's say outpouring. That probably is not used a whole bunch. One of the things you encourage to come with irresistible offer. It's too good to be true. There's no way they're going to say no to it. So we did. It just started a quick outpouring of people. Copy testimonial clips. There's that one. What's next? All right, got that one. Let's try return. Oh wait, we're in the clips. Haha. All right. Copy. Brent. Let's see. Looks like I got another one here. Download anyways. Looks like I just found some other testimonial stuff. Let's see. Screenshots. All right, so what is next? We're going to go back to the original. Money back. The money came back very quickly. Let's see. The money came back. Copy clips. Looks like I just found another one. So let's go into this project here. All right. this stuff is all related to speed. If one of the other mechanisms had been the one that won, we'd be doing the reliability or whatever. Let's just do this whole thing right here. Clips. All right, let's start a new one. We're going to say Brett. Done. Okay, let's go back to Jerry. Let's see, did we do this one? Might have done this one already. Let's see, pipeline. Let's see. Copy. That. All right, now let's see, we're at the end. All right, now let's go for Johnny. What? That's not the whole thing. That's not the whole thing. Did I mention? Let's see. 40 seconds. What about this one? 6 minutes. This must be it. Okay. I think he recorded it in 2 sections, if I remember correctly. Ugh. All right, is it in there? All right. All right, I was not prepared for the amount of referrals. This is a really good testimonial. There we go. Let me play this one for you. It's pretty cool. Let's see.
I was willing to try it, but I think with most programs that you're trying at first, I was a little hesitant. I was not prepared for the amount of referrals that began coming in through the Facebook leads. it was so easy, so simple working through their program to create this program that we were going to start offering. And once we developed that and put it in place, we got the ads running. And as soon as the ads started hitting, I kid you not, we went from getting maybe a couple referrals through our traditional means once every couple days, once every few days, not enough to sustain what we had going on, to having 8 to 9 referrals every day coming in through the Facebook ads. Again, I was not prepared for the volume of ads that were coming in, or of requests that were coming in. Because of that, we didn't see the effects right away at first. I wasn't prepared for the response we were going to give to these people. I have kind of a team in place. They weren't ready for how to respond. There was a learning curve. With that learning curve, even with the learning curve, the money that we spent in the advertising and the money that came in from the people that came in through the program was just over making it work. We were paying for the program. That was the worst. It only got better from there. So from there, I hired someone to do basically some of the incoming calls, sales, responding to people reaching out for their interest. And as people were reaching out and they finally had someone that was able to do what the program teaches, which is respond within 5 minutes, sometimes it would take just a little bit longer than that. But as we were getting these quick responses to people, we were getting their butts in our chairs way faster than we were at the beginning. Now, it's at a point where the revenue that we've seen so far using this program has increased by 15 to 20,000. It's been incredible the amount that it's increased, and it's only increasing even more. That was opening it up in one site. We're taking it to our other sites and going to be opening it up there and anticipate the same kind of results. It's a program that is so fine-tuned.
Wow, I love that. Okay, I was not prepared. Let's see. How far do I need to go back? I was not prepared for that. So. Let's see. So easy, so simple. This whole thing is pretty irrelevant. It's just too long. Well, let's just try it anyways. Let's see. Let's see. We'll just do this. Clips. We can trim it later. Don't be unprepared. Alright, perfect. Alright, now let's go on to Brett. Alright, let's see here.
We are now. I'm running actually a little bit behind. I was actually just talking with a lady. She makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She was number 6 that has came in so far.
That's incredible. How long
Yeah.
has it been? Like 48 hours or something like that?
I think when did we do that? We did that between
Was it
48 and
Tuesday?
72. It hasn't been 3
Yeah,
full days.
okay. It's just been a couple days, man. That's incredible. You've already got 6 people in your store. How much have
Yeah.
you spent so far?
So that would be close to $100. And then that was one thing I wanted to ask you about the ads,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the analytics on the ads were not pulling up for me.
Oh, okay. You want to share your screen? We can.
All right, let's see here. Where now? Let's see. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Okay, so we're now running a little bit behind. Let's go down to the $100 part. Copy testimonial clips there. All right. Dude, look at this. You're getting leads for $2. Within 24 hours. Let's see, what does that say? Let's see.
Within 24. Dude, look at this. You're getting leads for $2.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
dude, man, this is great. So, okay, so the top one's 22 leads for $45 versus 13 leads for $45. Yeah, so within 24 hours, you might want to pause the second one and double your spend on the first one.
Okay.
I mean, actually, it's been 2 days. You could even do that right now if you want.
That's me talking. Sometimes I talk too much.
You just change that to 30. And now, I mean, if you're doing, you know, $2 leads, that's what does that work out to?
That's hypothetical. All right. Okay, that's that. Let's see what we got so far. Testimonial clips. We're at 6 minutes in length, so that's too long for us to look at right now. All right, so this is good. So now we could, we've got this. Excuse me. All right, so now what do we have? We have downloads, testimonial stuff. Okay, so we've got screenshots. We have testimonial clips. Imagery designs and record videos. Okay. All right, so let me read something to you. Oh crap! I didn't bring the book. Somewhere at home. So I was reading this this playbook from Alex Hormozy, from his program that he sold at his. Let me move over this way. From his program, he sold at the at the $100 million Money Models event. And so it's one of the playbooks is about hooks. And one of the comments that he makes that I thought was just so cool was he said that when compiling a list of your hooks, just make a massive list of all the ones that work. You put hook, how many people saw it, what the response and numbers like that were. So after a while, you have this massive list of hooks. And then he said something I thought was really profound. It's, you start with the hook, so you come with a massive list of hook, and then you ones that work, you make the content to fit the hook. It's not like you record the content and then find a hook that fits the content. It's you record a hook, you get a hook that works, and then you make the content based on that hook, because the hook is the thing that gets people to actually watch it, right? And so it's really, really important to have people be able to watch it. And it's interesting. He says that he almost doesn't even care what the rest of the content is. I mean, I'm sure he probably does. But it's not as important as actually getting people to watch it, because if you can get them, onto the field, so to speak, he can help them get into the end zone. I don't even know if that's a good analogy, but yeah. So something I learned about the other day was about how to make a gazillion ads in just a little bit, right? Okay, so the main idea, and we're going to actually do this, we got 10 minutes, at least we can get started, is to come up with some fantastic hooks, right? So you come up with, let's just say you come up with, 3 to 5 really awesome hooks. And then for the video, you come up with 2 or 3 versions of the video, okay? And so then what you do, let's just say, for example, you come up with 3 versions of the video and you record that. That'll take you probably, 10 minutes or something like that. And then you record, 5 hooks. And so each of those videos, you can put 5 hooks on the front. Let's do this here. 5 hooks on the front. And then next video, those same 5 hooks. And so, spending, probably take about 2 minutes to record the hooks, 10 to 15 minutes to do the videos. And so let's just say it's 5 and 5, 20 minutes, and you get out, 15 ads. And then when you put the ad together and put it in a video, then you can layer text on the top, text on the bottom. You can do all kinds of different things, so that with a video ad, theoretically, you could be dealing with, 100 plus ads on an hour's worth of work. It definitely gets to the point where the editing is the time consuming part there. It's not the recording. So, okay. So we've got some testimonial stuff. Let's come up with some. Let's do some hook stuff first. Okay, so we're gonna go with speed. We've got 2 of them that work. So we want to. A couple different things that we could do. One is we can do the Nick Theriot ad template like this. Let's see, where's his? Like this. Have a before and after, or the process and then the after with the viral, or with the hook right here on the image. So right now ours was black, right? And so we would want to take the hook that wins and put it with this. But I also think we should try some video ads as well as some results ones showing how fast it can be. So, yeah, which one do we want to do first? Let's see here. Because we're dealing with speed. Let's talk about speed. Okay. So that is that. Okay, so let's come up with some. Let's try starting with some hooks. ACQ AI. This is Hormozi's AI tool that's based off of his content, his playbooks. Let's personalize. estate planning attorney now. I am a local marketing expert. Thank you very much. And I help people learn how to do marketing for their local businesses. I am extremely practical, and my philosophy is the 20-hour, what's the 20-hour, what is that book called? Jim Kaufman, 20-hour, let's see, what's it called? The first 20 hours, that's what it's called. Is the first 20 hours where you can become proficient, let's see, in most things way faster than people think. Also, the 80-20 rule, where there are only a few things that move the needle more than anything else. So the idea is to focus on as few things as possible and then put in the hours to get, quote, good enough at them. I'm selling a product called 20-minute leads, which the entire idea is that if you focus on what makes the biggest difference in with the least amount of effort in all the least amount of time, then we can get a great Facebook lead form campaign going in about 20 minutes. All right, so there's that. So tell me what you know about my product, 20-minute leads, and my avatar for that, Johnny. Let's see if it knows anything at all. Maybe it doesn't. Mm, 4 minutes here. Okay, alright, so it doesn't know anything about it. Let's go back to ChatGeet. Let's start a new one. Let's have it come back with some stuff. New downloads, avatar. Okay. All right, let's go do this here. Hooks for video ads. Alright, let's let it do its thing. We're going to use the speed mechanism / angle. Alright. Answer these fast. I'll do it as slow as I want to, thank you. Alright. Please fill this out for another AI tool. Dream outcome. Fastest acceptable timeline. Okay, fastest. If that was slowest, I'd be like 7 days. Are you kidding me? Let's see, we'll go here and we'll do, let's see, testimonial stuff. And then we will do docs, new, testimonial content. All right, let's go back here. Script. Copy. Johnny. Copy. Brett. Thank you, Brett. Jerry, okay. Chat Jeet. Let's see what it comes up with. All right. I'll say great. Now give it to me in the format the other AI tool requested. Sorry, we're 3 minutes over. Let me just finish this and then we'll finish up. While it's doing that, every day from 10 to 12, unless I've got some appointment that I can't move, I do this every day. So one of the things I love about YouTube is you can learn other people, watch other people talk about what they've learned. I've never seen anybody actually let you watch them work, however. And so every day from 10 to 12, this is what I'll be doing. I will be working on stuff. If you would like me to work on your stuff, just go to michaelspencer.com/office-hours, fill out the form there, and we can have you on here for those for some of that time, and we can work on your stuff. If you want to learn how to actually do the stuff that's in the video we're watching, just go to 20minuteleads.com and sign up for the program. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time, which will be tomorrow. So good luck with everything, guys. Bye-bye.